What's up, everybody? It's a Grand Light Gazette where we talk about One Piece damn near every damn day. That's Kev. I'm Corey. We talk about One Piece a lot. I usually do a minute-long intro. I'm not doing it today. We're talking about the Rocks Pirates. We're talking about Loki. We're talking about spoilers. We're talking about chapter 100, 1125. All right, if you're on chapter 100, 125,
45.
come back in a couple of months. It's going to take you a while. But if you're here for the spoilers, welcome. We got a new channel. This is a new show. We talk about One Piece a lot. This is what we're talking about today. Kev, take it from there.
Yeah, so we barely have any information on our subject for today, but it is Rocks D. Zebek. I mean, theories galore. I mean, he's the treasure trove when it comes to it. Besides the One Piece, I think he's the most theorized One Piece topic that we have so far. We have very little information about who he truly is and what his missions truly were, but we do know that he assembled the most the fiercest crew on the ocean, enough to where you had to have rivals come together in Garp and the future king of the pirate Roger together to fight this one crew. And so when we're looking at 11:45 in this coming week, we see spoilers coming out that Rox D. Zebek is getting some screen time with our possible future Straw Hat, Loki. And we've been theorizing quite a bit on this channel about Rox, about Loki. And so to see those two cross, that is quite interesting. And I want to hear some of your like initial thoughts on when you saw these spoilers. What were you first like this means blank?
First of all, that's
What do you
that's a question for you in the chat. You guys let us know. Second of all, that intro, fucking chef's kiss, perfect intro.
mm-hmm.
All right, so Rocks D Zebek. Now for what I think about him. There's all kinds of theories, like you said. He is possessing Blackbeard. Blackbeard's his kid. Buggy's his kid.
Yeah.
He's the rival to Roger. He's pure evil. Maybe he's not so evil. He's coming back again. What was his devil fruit? You know what I mean? Because if Roger's crew is all devil fruit, or all no devil fruit, it goes to assume that the antithesis, Rox's crew, is going to be all devil fruits. And what devil fruits do they have? Let's look at his crew members. We have former Yonkos. We have Yonkos. We have
Future Yonkos.
future
This is
Yonkos. We have
yeah.
Shiki, who is on a Yonko level in himself. You know what I mean? We have Big
Mm-hmm.
Mom. We have Edward Newgate Whitebeard. We have Kaido. We have Stussy. You know what I mean? We have
Mm-hmm.
notable names, and all these people are under Zebek. And it's like, okay, how did he get all these names? Well, how's Blackbeard getting all of his people? How is Luffy getting all of his people? And the slight spoilers that we got for 1145 states that Loki was trying to join Rox's crew.
Yep.
Now I didn't read all the way into the spoilers, so I don't know if he joined for sure or not. But that was an ambition and a repeated ambition where he tried over and over again to join Rox's crew. So if Loki didn't make the cut, that just tells you what kind of level you needed to be at to be on his crew back in the flashback of God Valley. So I mean, we're gonna go into the idea of Loki trying to join Rox's crew and what that actually means, the strength wise, all that kind of stuff. But it's like, bro, Rox's crew is a bunch of powerhouses. I know we
Yes.
don't see the Roger Pirates too much. We see like Rayleigh fight sometimes. We're seeing Scopper now, but these people are on equal level. Some of them just
Yeah.
went to go get bitches, and some of them went to go get devil fruits. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like that is the clear line between the Roger and the Rocks Pirates. But
So I,
yeah,
I want to take a second to kind of catch you guys up for what the spoilers may be. So like Corey was saying, Loki did try to join the Rock's crew. Now we, as of yet, do not hear confirmation if he's made it to the crew or not. But it is kind of interesting that the reason that this story was brought up is because he's explaining to Luffy about the God's Knights. So he might be explaining to Luffy the first time he met the God's Knights, which would obviously, in my opinion, there would only be one time, and that's God Valley. And
That's the
that's right.
intersection of everybody.
Yeah, exactly. And so when you look at how he may be connected to Rocks, you have a couple different theories as well. Rocks could have a very good relationship with Harold. I mean, when we see Rocks in Kaido's eyes, it's Loki looking like the future pirate king that he is. And then he's surrounded by Rocks, Roger, Whitebeard, and then Odin. Three out of the four of those guys are not bad guys. And we don't know enough about Rocks to really put him in either category. But maybe this is just how Kaido saw him. This is definitely something that we've seen Luffy be a part of, where Lucci looks at Luffy like he's a villain as well. And so when we're looking at this flashback that he gives, he encounters Zebek in the past and even attempted to join his crew as a kid. So I'm thinking Colin's age, maybe around there, 20-ish, who knows. But his appearance is obscured. And so even though Loki keeps getting rejected, he keeps trying to be a part of the crew, which then, for me, maybe he went the Whitebeard route, Rocks did, and eventually, approved of Ace joining the crew. And in this case, it's Loki. And I really like if Loki would be on the Rock Pirates. I think that'd be awesome.
I think that is crazy idea. You know what I mean? Also, that brings so many more theories and dynamics to just Harold himself and the government. We said that Harold had relations with like the government, you know what I mean, because of the formality of, oh hey Shamrock, what are you doing? Visiting Harold's grave? What if Harold was trying to get in bed with the government, unknowing what they're really doing, and Loki was trying to get with the Rocks Pirates? You know what I mean? And his dad Harold was like, no, bro, like we're not going to support these Rocks Pirates. They're pirates. All they do is rape, pillage, and plunder, and that's what we're getting away from. We're trying to join the government. We're trying to be normal, like, you know what I'm saying? And then he was like, nah, bro, you call this normal? You know what I mean? And like Harold's like, I already ripped my horns out. You know what I mean? I already signed the deal. You gotta kill me or something like that. Like there's like these are adding like more layers to a story that we are already telling, and we haven't even gotten the story yet. Like we know Harold and we know Loki's not a bad guy. We know Harold may have like made a deal that he regretted and he had to go back on. The only way was for Loki to end him. You know what I mean? Like this is just solidifying things more and more with everything we know.
And I do want to note that Zebek's face throughout this whole entire chapter, Pew Piece does state that his face still remains hidden. So this really goes to show that I think Oda's hiding it for a reason. If you had to ask me, if the community was asking me, Tadakev, hey, what is your theory about Rocks? I think he's gonna be Buggy's dad. Very similar mindset. They both started collecting Infinity Stones like it was going out of business here. And we see something very similar happening with Buggy's crew and the Cross Guild. So I think that we may get a flashback eventually where Rox has this funny, dumb clown nose. And it's like, oh, obviously, this whole time, this guy's really. Yeah.
And I like the
It's gonna be
idea
so
of him
obvious.
being Buggy's predecessor rather than Blackbeard's,
Yeah.
because it's like, I think Blackbeard was on Whitebeard Pirates for 40 years without a bounty or something like that. Like a crazy amount of time, right? But I think in that time he would be like, you know who you remind me of? Or maybe he made like one of these Roger deals where it's like, I'm not going to tell anybody you're his son,
Yeah.
but I'm going to take care of you. You'll be part of my ship. You know what I mean? And maybe that's where the betrayal came from. Like so much like, I knew something was wrong with you, but I made a promise, like an honor code promise that I'd take care of you. So I guess I just turned the other cheek. You know what I mean? But
Well, and because Roger did the same thing with Shanks. I mean, I think
that's the only way I'll make the Blackbeard thing. But I'm more supportive of the Buggy I did.
Yeah. Well, and we won't know for quite some time. I think the reason Oda's doing this is because we got another 100 chapters or so before we ever hear of him again. But I mean, people have theories about Crocodile being his son, Buggy being his son. I mean, because you have the ancient Egyptian sand god, which is Zebek, which is a crocodile. And it's like there's a perfect lineage where everything kind of falls in line. And I think Oda does that on purpose. But any final thoughts
Very
on what
very
on
wild
what
if
we're
Crocodile was a if it wasn't Buggy that was the dumpster treasure chest baby, but it was Crocodile that was a dumpster baby. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That would be wild.
And yeah, and it's hard for me to dismiss the Egyptian god thing because it's just like so obvious to me at least. But it's like at the same time, you have the saber of Zebek. You have that you have the question marks that Buggy has and how he's been able to acquire all of this manpower and power in general. And it's like we know a guy who did something very similar.
And it's and it's very wild. We got to see, and yeah, of course, all this is just going from spoilers of them talking about him, and we're probably going to see, if we even see anything about him, we'll probably see like a silhouette, like you said. He'll still be silhouetted, um, but there are different personalities that attract these strong crew members. People don't
Mm-hmm.
follow Luffy for nothing. People don't follow Blackbeard for nothing. People don't follow Buggy for nothing. They mean what they say, and they say what they mean.
Very
So
true.
if this guy is not taking Loki, I'm very interested, and I feel like I know what Loki's ideals are as a kid, because
Sure.
they've already told us what his ideals are. Just he's up to party and bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like he's not doing much like positive shit. But if like
What if you wanted to be the sun god?
yeah, well still that's like whatever that means
Oh,
to like
sure.
giants, you know what I mean? But
Oh,
as
yeah, yeah,
far as like for him that could just be raiding and doing like
yeah,
like
yeah.
like blatant destruction. But it's like maybe Rock was like, "No, we stand for something.
Yeah.
We don't just like we're not marauders. Like we stand for something. Like these are people like Whitebeard. Like this is a family thing. Like these people wanted family. Like Whitebeard wants family. Big Mom wants family. Kaido, he won't say it, but he wants family. He has a whole family under him. You know what I mean? He has his Topi
I mean,
Robo. He has everybody.
he kept Yamato alive. I mean,
He
at the end of the
kept
day,
Yamato alive.
whether you like it or not,
He
he
values
had
that family
plans.
bond.
Yeah, and like he went to the point where he tried to teach Yamato a lesson by killing the only person that was ever nice to Yamato, and it was like, "See, son,
Like
you need to learn." It's like, no, you just killed the only
Like,
person who
you
ever
don't
loved
think I
me.
love you? You don't think I love you? I'm calling you son.
I killed the guy who was in between us. Like
I'm calling you son right now. You know I don't need to do that. I love you. Like you're my child. I'm trying to.
I don't need to. And it is noted, this is the last thing I'll say about Rocks, is that Loki does even state that he kind of admires Zebet the same way Luffy has admiration for Shanks. So if we're gonna put Luffy and Loki kind of in the same emotional area, we have to hope that Shanks and Zebek were also up there. So it's
And we
like,
gotta know that Loki's a good judge of character too.
yeah, exactly. Which I'm not too sure of, but at the same time, you also have to. I can't hate on the fact that he had somebody as strong-willed as Whitebeard. Kaido and Big Mom, they're there for power. I get that. But Whitebeard knows a thing or two, I think, at this point, and he still, agrees to join. So I think that can't be, dismissed too quickly, at least, for sure. But who knows?
Y'all know. Y'all let us know.
Y'all do know, that's for sure.
Yeah, y'all type something. So type it in the chat. Let us know how you guys feel about the Rocks Pirates, Loki trying to join the Rocks Pirates, Loki possibly being a Rocks Pirate. What this means about that dynamic and like the future of Elbaf, because really from this one thread, just like mentioning rocks, you can extrapolate a lot. So get to
Yeah.
extrapolating, let us know in the comments below, and we'll be back for the next one.
Peace.